Okay, ladies, good evening and welcome. My name is Isabelle, or some people call me Izzy as well. And I want to first thank shesaid.so to had offered me this space to help and to present to you this workshop about anxiety. So as you know, recently we've been going through some really challenging years, and mostly for people in the music industry, like everything has been halted and then it started back and then it stopped again. And now it seems that things are opening again, and this can bring some anxiety. And also we have changed our habits. We've been more in our little cocoon at home, and we have this eagerness to go back on stage or back on tour, back on to work, reconnect with our peers. At the same time, maybe that can provoke social anxiety, or if we're performing, maybe there's going to be stage fright because we haven't performed in some times. I don't know if you have any concerns that you wish to share. I invite you to put in the chat, like on a scale from 1 to 5, 1 being the lowest and 5 being the highest, how anxious do you feel? Social anxiety at the max here, okay. 4, 5. Thank you for sharing, Andrea. Depends on the day, really fluctuates. Okay, thank you, Ira. Did you start going out again, having gigs again, and social situations? I've got a heavy weekend at work events. Okay, thank you, Julia. Emma, agree, Andrea. Networking and meeting anyone right now feels incredibly challenging. Okay, I get that. Emma, thank you for sharing. Anyone else wants to share? Okay, so I'm gonna let you know how it's gonna happen during the workshop. First, I'm gonna present myself shortly, and then we'll go through what is anxiety and when does it become an anxiety disorder and how it manifests, and how we can help in these situations. And after, in the second part, I will introduce you to a very simple, easy Qigong exercise that will help you immediately get centered in just a few minutes are necessary to just like center ourselves and to reconnect and to overcome the anxiety and be able to just tap into our resources. So in terms of like anxiety level right now, like I want to say that I'm on a 2-3 score out of 5 because it's my first time that I'm presenting to so many persons that I don't know, and I'm very grateful for this opportunity. And after the exercise, we'll see how your scores go. So please, if you want to write down on a piece of paper or in your mind or in the chat, what's your score between 1 and 5, 1 being the lowest, 5 the highest in terms of anxiety at this moment. And then we will measure again at the end of the exercise. So I invite you either to write it down to chat or to write it down in your head on a piece of paper, or have it in your head. Welcome everybody who joined. Okay, so a little bit about me. My name is Isabelle Naud, or friends call me Izzy, and I'm based in Barcelona. I'm a health and well-being coach. I specialize in embodied practices inspired by traditional Chinese medicine and Chinese martial arts. So I help my clients improve their health and well-being with Tai Chi classes, Qigong practices, or personalized fitness trainings. And in the future, I will also provide some support in terms of nutrition, because all of this goes together, they're tied in. And I decided to focus on the professionals in the music industry, in the electronic music industry, because I come from that environment, and also other creatives, of course. I used to work 10 years in the electronic music industry. I did marketing, communication, organized events, did some artist promotion, events promotion, and that's like a lovely field to be in. It's very passionate, and at the same time, it's very demanding. And back in 2011, I was planning to start my own artist management agency, and I started connecting with some artists here in Barcelona, and starting to prepare the business. But at the same time, I was living at a 200-kilometer-per-hour rhythm. I was going out a lot. I was not having so healthy habits. And it turned out that once I came back from ADE in Amsterdam, the conference, and I had a burnout. And I ended up in the hospital, and I received a treatment for mental health, and that really broke me down. And so during 2 years, I was trying to recover, and I was just like totally broken inside. And also the meds do have some impact, because they have secondary effects, and I didn't feel myself anymore. I was totally disconnected from my emotions, and I had also like some physical problems, like I was a bit shaky, or I would be rigid. And what helped me was my practice of Kung Fu and Tai Chi. I've been practicing Kung Fu since year 2000 and Tai Chi since year 2005. And every day I would go training. And this really helped me to reconnect with my essence and to heal from my mental and emotional issues. And I also got help with hypnotherapy. Hypnosis helped me a lot. And then little by little, I figured out that I wanted to connect more with health and well-being. And so I got my black belt in Kung Fu. I got my black belt in Tai Chi. I started teaching Tai Chi. Then I started learning about traditional Chinese medicine through the practice of Qigong, which I will explain a little bit later on. And also through the learning of shiatsu massage, which is a Japanese massage based on traditional Chinese medicine. And little by little, I started recovering. So I started teaching Tai Chi in 2014. I started studying the massage therapy also that year. And little by little, I recovered and reconnected and overcame this phase. And 2 years ago, I did a training to become a fitness trainer, a fitness coach, and started working on creating a program that I offer to my clients, which involves Tai Chi, Qigong, and fitness. And now I really want to help other persons with their health and well-being so that they don't get to suffer and like I did, and that they can live at their highest energy. So about anxiety. Anxiety is a natural human experience. Even though it doesn't feel comfortable, it's something every human goes through at least once in their life. It happens when we're gonna be facing a danger or a challenging situation that can be now or in the future. And it becomes a disorder when we are triggered in a situation that is not threatening us. So that's, for example, for persons who cannot take the metro or the public transportation because they feel threatened by too many people, or they feel threatened by being inside a closed space, and this becomes a disorder, because we as humans are supposed to be able to go travel on public transportation. Or there is also social anxiety. This is when we have a hard time to reconnect with people, to talk to strangers, and so we find ourselves like in a position where we can have effects that completely block us physically or mentally, and through our behaviors. So I want to explain that 1 out of 5 will experience anxiety disorder in their life. So that's really common, and it's even more common with women. And I believe that's because women, we are more sensitive, and maybe because we have to juggle with more things, like being a professional, being a mom, depending on our education, being a good person taking care of the household. So there's lots of pressure on women. And so in terms of anxiety disorder, there are several types of disorder. There are the phobias. So these are, for example, when we're really afraid of taking an elevator, or phobia of snakes, or of some kind of insects. That can happen, or phobia of situation, like when we're in a small space with many people, that's agoraphobia also. And the social phobia or social anxiety is when we cannot relate with people. And I had this experience in my first years when I wasn't feeling well. I just couldn't talk to strangers. I just closed up. I could only relate to my close circle of friends, and that was really hurting me, because I used to be very, very social and loving to meet new people, and during those years it was really a big challenge. Another anxiety disorder can be panic disorders. Well, that's when we have panic attacks, and then when we experience a panic attack, then there's this fear of getting another panic attack. So this becomes like a pressure on the person. A friend of mine, she used to have panic attacks, and she had to really go through a lot of work, personal work, internal work, to connect with her emotions and understand that the emotion will pass, and then she can move on. Then there are also the stress. Stress is also a disorder. And for example, this includes the post-traumatic stress disorder, which people have when they go into an accident, or people who go to war, these situations which are really traumatizing. Then there is OCD, which is obsessive compulsive disorder. This is like when we go through some behavior that are repetitive, and so this could be like people who always have to wash their hands. Well, we've been washing our hands a lot recently, but like people who on a normal basis always wash their hands, or because they're really afraid of bacteria and that they could catch anything, any disease or illness. Then there is the generalized anxiety disorder, or GAD, which is the most common one. This is 70% of the person who gets an anxiety disorder, they will fall in that category. And then there are anxiety disorders due to known physical causes. For example, a general medical condition. When we become sick, when we run into an accident, then it stays inside the body and the fascia, and that can become a problem, and then we have this anxiety. And also substance abuse creates anxiety disorder. And finally, there's the anxiety disorder that is not specified. That's the last one. So the causes of anxiety can be our family, like family members, they used to have anxiety. We can have this from if our mother was consuming some toxics during the pregnancy. We can have the inherited also from unsafe education, or an unsafe upbringing, when we're not in a safe environment as a kid and our needs didn't get fulfilled. When we have stress also during a long period, and it can be also based on the personality. And I believe that through these past 2 years of COVID, we definitely have a little or big, there's a general trauma among everybody. And this is something we have to address. Just to finish on the anxiety, so the physical symptoms, they are, for example, when we have sweaty hands, when we start shaking or shivering, or that we have a dry throat, dry mouth, we have a knot in the stomach, or we have a knot in the throat. Some people, they become dizzy or they could faint. Also having a hard time breathing, or also the heart rate is rising, and sweating, and the muscular tension also is one of the physical symptoms. And then the thoughts can be like negative thoughts, or where they're catastrophic, or we start being in a loop. And then we have also behaviors, which are like security behaviors, that we will repeat some behaviors to make sure that we're safe and that we can handle a situation. So what are the advices to deal with the anxiety? Well, it is recommended to keep our daily routine. That is very important, to stay with our habits, and also to practice sports to exercise, to have some healthy food and sleeping habits. That is very important. And also to not abuse on the substance, toxic substance. Like sometimes we think, oh, I'm a bit stressed. Let me have a glass of alcohol. Well, that's unfortunately alcohol. It just makes you go up. Like, okay, we have the impression that we're relaxed, but then the anxiety comes back. So this is like really important to watch out with the substance, and we want to avoid toxics. And it's important to stay connected with the people around us, to be socially active, and to reach out, to talk to the people in our close group of people. That is very important. And I tonight want to introduce you to a simple exercise that is a Qigong exercise that will help you connect with your body and reduce anxiety in a few minutes. So what is Qigong? Qigong is, Qi is energy, vital energy, and Gong is work or cultivating, to cultivate. So Qigong is to cultivate energy. It comes from China. It's been there for over 3,000 years. And it's one of the 5 components of the traditional Chinese medicine. And it is the characteristics of Qigong is that when we practice, we are very concentrated. Then we have slow movements, and we have deep, profound, and paced breathing that go with the movements. So let me show you the practice. I invite you to stand up and to separate your feet the same distance as your shoulders. And here, we want to have the pelvis forward so that we have the back is aligned, the spine is aligned, and we will bend the knee very lightly. And then the movement is bring the arms up little by little, inhaling. And when the hands reach the level of the shoulder, bend the knees and breathe out. And the hands go down. And we imagine that we are pressuring a balloon against our stomach. So it looks like as if we were pregnant. When we finish the movement, we're here. And we're going to repeat this. So this movement is called the Qi belt, because we're working on this part of the body, which is the hara or core. And again, inhale, raise the arms, exhale, bend the knees, and the hands go down, and we pressurize as if we had a balloon that we want to enter inside our belly. And again, I'll make it like this. Inhale through the nose and exhale, either through the nose or through the mouth. That's very up to you. And inhale. And exhale. And press the balloon. Again, inhale, the hands go up, and exhale, bend the knees, and the hands press a balloon. Again, inhale, and exhale. We're going to do this 3 more times. Inhale, the hands go up, and bend the knees. Exhale, hands go towards the core. And again, inhale, hands go up. Exhale, and the hands go down, pressuring the balloon. And last time, inhale, hands go up, and exhale, and we press on a balloon. And we are gonna finish. We put one hand on the belly button and the other hand on, both hands, one on top of the other. And we can close our eyes. And breathe. Great. Now I'd like to ask you, how do you feel? How did it go? You can open your microphones if you wish. Anyone wants to share how this practice went? Feel calmer, Geraldine? Okay, thank you. Angela, it felt good.
It was very relaxing.
Yes, you could feel it?
Yeah, I try to do the slowing down of the breath if I can't sleep or if I wake up in the middle of the night, but then adding the movement if it's during the day or something, I think, I don't know, physically moving with it repeatedly felt in a way kind of more relaxing. I think it felt like, yeah, it definitely worked for me, whereas sometimes I find meditative breathing doesn't work or just is less impactful. But yeah, it definitely made me feel calmer.
Great. Well, thank you very much for sharing. Yes, the fact that we're moving the body, it makes us be inside our body in the physical and to get out of the mind. And so also this practice, as we're focusing the energy here in the Dantian is the name in Chinese, which is one of the centers of energy. And since we're lowering the energy and our focus, instead of being up here, which is when we have some difficulties or challenges, so it's like, ooh, it's happening here. And just to connect to our center, this calms us. And it's also the slow movements, they allow us to calm the nervous system. So that's very important. Anyone else wants to share? I would like to ask you, on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being the lowest and 5 the highest, in terms of anxiety, where do you feel now? If you can write it in the chat. 0, 1, Julia, great. I feel at a 0, 1 level as well. It's just like centers me immediately. 2, Heather, Angela, 1, okay. And is it lower? Oh, 1 or 2 down from 4. Wow, that is, congratulations, Emma. That's a good score. So that really had an impact for you. I'm happy. I would like to invite you to repeat the movement just a few more times. So the body can really incorporate it. And then we'll finish. So just a short sequence again. So both feet separated of the width of the shoulders. And here, inhale, raise the hands to the level of the shoulders. Like here, yes. And then bend the knees, the hands go down and press on an imaginary balloon. It's a balloon of energy that we want to get put inside our body. And we exhale. And again, inhale. Hands go up. Exhale. Bend the knees. Hands press an imaginary balloon. And again, inhale. Hands go up. Exhale. Hands go down. 2 more times. Inhale. Hands go up. Exhale. Bend the knees. Hands go down. And last time. Inhale. Hands go up. Exhale. And press the energy balloon. And we are going to concentrate the energy in the dantian, which is actually 3 fingers below the navel and 1 hand on top of the other. We can close our eyes and feel the energy. And feel the calmness. And little by little, we can open the eyes.